everyone. Welcome to Crypto City. And this season, we've been talking a lot about application. We've been talking about different things that people are bringing from IRL skills into the metaverse. And we've also been talking about things that people have learned that they've started, developing forward in the metaverse with. So I appreciate all of you coming out tonight as we continue this journey. Tonight, we're actually going to bring in two women who have been doing a lot of beautiful things in the metaverse. They've been taking their artistic skills and bringing them into multiple platforms in which they've done actual galleries, and they've done some amazing work and really highlighting and showcasing, some female perspective too as well. So it'll be interesting to bring them in and talk with you tonight. So I would like it if you'd all please take a moment to welcome to the stage Roberta Pacino and Sara Tink. Please join us. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. Please grab a seat. And Sara, please join us. Welcome.
Hey. Hi.
Grab a seat. Thank you guys for coming on tonight. I know that you guys have been doing a lot of different things here in the metaverse that, to showcase your creative side and your talents, but you've also been bringing a lot of people from the community into the stuff that you're doing. And, I think that, the things that I have seen have been really amazing. And, it's a lot of passion, a lot of fun, and a lot of community, which we always love people bringing people together. So can you each, let's start with Roberta, if you could, introduce yourself and give a little bit of your artistic journey, in the real world that led you into here.
I'm Roberta Pacino, and that led me into VR, pretty much. I'm a painter. I paint. I'm an artist in real life, and I paint with acrylics on canvas. And somebody saw my art, and they were here, and they said, "Oh, I think your art would just be great in VR." So they introduced me to Tink, who has the artist district in the multiverse. Nice. And Tink was like my first introduction. So she was like, yeah. And so she hypnotized me. I mean, she just sees the world as so amazing. And I just picked up on that right away. And I just fell in love with VR. So that's how I got started.
And how about you, Tink?
Paige, that singer, and I went to college together, and she started Women in Horizon and was one of the alpha creators of Horizon Worlds. And so I saw some of her paintings that she was doing in Tilt Brush. Mm-hmm. And I said, "How are you doing that?" And she's like, "Oh, you have to get a headset." And so I got a headset, and it was like, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. It was just like instant. I mean, it was just so thrilling. And so Paige gave me a beta code to Horizon Worlds. And then that was my first social introduction. And I came into one of her Women in Horizon meetings, and I didn't even know how to move, and everybody had to show me. It was just like such an incredible introduction. So yeah.
Okay. So now I know, that there's a lot of talk going on in here right now about Horizon closing. And that's been, very hard for a lot of people because that's where they've chosen to make their home and things that they've been doing. You guys have been doing a lot in Multiverse and Finiverse, which we just learned last week is also closing. So that's a lot to take. I mean, there's a lot of platforms. I don't think people realize, the people watching the show at home on YouTube and maybe even some of the people in here, there are a lot of platforms in the metaverse. So, we are here in VR chat. We were in spatial. We were in alt space. You were, in the Multiverse and Finiverse, in Horizon. There's a lot of different ones. So just because one or two close down does not mean VR is ending. It means you need to shift gears, but it's still a lot to take in. So what first drew you into Multiverse and Finiverse?
I was just really excited that you could create, I have to say the artist district was the first district in the Infiniverse. And I joined the Infiniverse in 2020 of like January 1st, 2020. So it was really in there early and just hopped around until I found an really empty neighborhood. I was like, this is going to be the artist district. And then like the next day it was like, oh, we're going to have the music district. And it just like blossomed and it became this beautiful place of lots of different, lots of different communities growing and working together. So at this point, we have 12 owners of about 21 plots that make up the artist district. So we're really a huge group of people and property. We have over about probably at this point 28 or more artist stores and galleries, just storefronts in that neighborhood. And we meet monthly and try and like figure out what kinds of events to have together. So we definitely are trying to figure out what we're doing now that we're not going to have that space. And we've all invested a lot of real money. And so it's hard. Yeah.
So that is one of the biggest challenges is, when you're in here, you join the metaverse, you think you're coming in and it's going to be a social game or whether it's a game to play or a social app to be in. And you do end up investing in a lot of cases some money, even if you're just buying wearables and things like that, or if you're buying avatars. And then sometimes in the case of like multiverse, you're buying properties and, you start out with, oh, well, it's just a little bit, I'll just add. And then it just adds up over time.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, it's amazing because, we do this because we can justify it to ourselves. Well, I would be going out tonight to dinner and I'm not. I'm staying home. So I'm spending that money here. And this money will be spent, long term because, I'm buying this avatar. I'm going to have it forever. Dinner would have been gone in a night. Like you can justify things like that.
Exactly.
But at the same time, when you lose it, you feel a loss and you feel, like, oh, I invested in all this and they took my money and they're leaving me now. But the reality is everything that's in here is not ours. It's, we bring in our stuff and we share it, but the platform's not, so we always are at the mercy of whoever's pulling the strings, which is something that everybody really needs to be aware of when you are trying to grow in here. I would never say, don't come in here and build something because you are sharing with the community. And in a lot of cases, you're getting real life customers and stuff like that and followers. But the reality is you have to be realistic about it too. So
it's true.
What about the stuff that you've been doing, Roberta?
In the multiverse? Or all over? Okay,
all around. Yes.
Yeah, in the multiverse, I had a store. I have a store. A couple of stores and plots and gallery. And that's where I got started. And I just love, that's the first time I put my art up for display. And it was just so amazing. It was so amazing to see it all at once, all together, and to see it big. And then to have people come in and from all over the world and talk to me about my art. And I just, I've enjoyed that so much. And I expanded to like Horizon World and have a gallery there also. And so with Horizon now shutting down, they are still on mobile, where multiverse isn't going to work like that. So I have a Shopify store where I sell prints of my art and different things like mugs and stuff like that. And I'm excited actually to have people find me like on my Shopify store. And then I'm taught, I have information about my VR gallery, and I was going to give tours in VR, but I can't do that right now. So I would do tours on mobile of my gallery. But I think that, if you don't love VR, if you haven't fallen in love with it and you don't know anything, the mobile is exciting for now. But, for people that are just, they haven't done it at all.
Just stepping in. Exactly.
I think I'm hoping that it's a stepping stone to, to the headset.
Now, Spatial is a platform that was, created with art gallery capabilities, like just plug and play. Come in, drop all your pictures in, boom, 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 lays them out for you. Is that something that you've considered as well?
Well, I do have a gallery in Spatial, and I did check it out in VR yesterday, and my avatar, Ready Player avatar is not there, but it is there on the web. So I still have it on the web. Yeah,
you probably just need to reconnect it. Yeah.
Think I could? I don't know. I thought anyway, people are saying that it's going less and less in VR Spatial, and more it's going mobile again. I guess it started mobile, I think, but it is great for that, though. I mean, you can it's so easy to put pictures in there, compared to Horizon. I mean, it's like day and night. So I mean, it's really awesome. I even did it for my grandson. I made a gallery for him and the pictures he drew, and I put them up in the gallery. And he was
love that.
Yeah.
Now, when you would, go ahead.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
When you are now, many of us are familiar with Horizon and how originally it was all, working with primitive shapes. They introduced Tri-Mesh. It made it a lot easier to upload images and stuff like that. Over the course of working in Multiverse and then, in Horizon and Spatial, are there any software programs or apps that you learned so that you would be able to do this better? You're obviously both artists, so you're probably using Photoshop and other things outside of here. But was there anything you needed to learn technology-wise to be able to create in here as well?
Well, yes, I need to learn a lot. I mean, I'm just starting to learn, and so I've gotten help from people who knew what they were doing to help me build the gallery in here in Horizon, because it's it's more complex. You have to know something. You can't just walk in there like in Spatial and not know anything and do it. But I'm learning, and I'm learning in the desktop editor. And so, that's what I want to be able to do is, at least manage my own galleries without asking for help. But,
And Blender.
Blender.
Have you been using Blender?
I use Blender. And of course, I realized that I didn't realize how much in VR. Like, I just paint pictures and stuff. I'm not a graphic artist, but boy, you just have to do graphic art. You have to be able to, I just had to jump in there and start learning stuff. And so, if I really thought about it, there's lots of apps that I've learned since I've been in VR, which is wonderful. I love that part of it.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely some growth. Now, you mentioned being, originally seeing people work in tilt brush and open brush.
Yeah.
Do you play a lot with that?
I still do, yeah. And and painting VR and Vermilion are also another couple of the ones I really love. And I have a good friend in Germany, and we meet in painting, or we meet in Vermilion and paint together. So that is really fabulous. Yeah, many of the multiplayer painting things.
Yeah. Vermilion is beautiful. I've been in there. I will say I'm a little bit challenged. I can be very creative and artistic IRL, but when I come in here and try to use the paintbrushes and stuff, I struggle. I don't have the best motor control skills, so I'm not the best at that. But I definitely
make beautiful
enjoy
things then.
I make very pretty abstract art because you can guess what it is.
Love it.
We're just going to call it abstract art. So let me ask
anything that makes you feel good.
Yeah, that's true. So when you heard the news that it was closing down, I mean, your initial reaction to it was probably, some confusion, some devastation, oh man, this is what I do. But have you already rebounded from that and are like, okay, what do we have to do next? How do we move forward? What do we grow with this?
For me, I think right now is just getting together with groups of people and talking about what the options are. So that's where we're at. I host Women of Workrooms, and we meet up every week. And because Workrooms also closed in February, and we just had to find a new home, which is going to be Fluid. And tomorrow is actually our first meeting in Fluid. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here's the poster of us all together. And Cyber Shay joins us every week. I love this group. We've been meeting for over 2.5 years every week. And we learn together and we go on tours. We do awesome things. People bring in stuff to share. And if you'd like to join us, please join us. So Fluid's going to be our next home for a while. We do take tours. I think also what I was about to say is tomorrow we're actually going to brainstorm together, like, what are you doing and how are you importing and exporting your worlds from Horizon Worlds, and where are you thinking of moving and putting your energy. And it's interesting, lots of people are starting to share videos in our messenger thread of what they're doing. And I definitely interestingly just got like a cold and went to bed for 3 days. I think I couldn't process it. I had to process it in bed.
Your body shut down.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, bash. I'm gonna go to bed.
It is crazy though. Like Workrooms, which is kind of funny because we've talked about this before on this show. Like Workrooms was the first like Horizon thing that I had been into before I was ever even in Horizon Worlds. Okay. And actually Blue and I had gone in there one time. We were doing a meeting this is way back in the alt space days. We went in, we met with some people, we sat down, they had like dry erase boards, we had streaming, we had everything. And then all of a sudden it was like, let's just start taking back. And we were like, what's happening? And when Horizon Worlds like really kind of got that push when alt space closed, I was like, why would you not give Horizon Worlds all the things that you could do in Workrooms? And it was kind of strange because Workrooms was meant for business. And it was like, how amazing that you could do that. And I feel like Horizon Worlds would have benefited greatly from having that capability. Even though you were still building in primitive shapes, you could do all of those technological things. So the technology's there. They just weren't releasing it to the masses, which is a little frustrating, I'm sure, for everybody who was, choosing that as their platform. But what is Fluid? Tell us a little bit of Fluid, because I'm not familiar with it, but I have been to your Women in Workrooms group before. And I know it was a great little, everybody sat around brainstorming. We talked about crypto a little bit. So tell us about Fluid. Is it similar?
It's similar, yeah. It has more room choices, as did Workrooms a couple years ago. Okay. And it's also considered itself a video player. So it has a really good screen where you can watch YouTube videos. It's very easy to navigate. Okay. You can bring in remote desktop. They also have their own kind of desktop thing. I haven't quite learned that one yet. Okay. They are bringing in video out so that somebody from the outside can
you can stream to them. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Which we use a lot in Workrooms. And the devs are very, very open to listening and making things happen. So that's been really fabulous. And they have now the meta avatars. They're only like from the you don't have legs, but it's nice to have our familiar selves when we move into a new meeting place. Yeah.
Now, was Fluid something that you free to download and everyone can go into it, or just a subscription?
That's the sad part, because Workrooms was free. So it's I think it went back to $20 a one-time fee. Okay. And then I have requested from the devs that they give us some guest pass if we have someone who's coming for a speaker just to speak, or do want to try it out first before they purchase it, because I don't want someone to have to be like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to make this. I work that time. Right. So so they're really willing to work with us on that.
Nice. Okay. So for everybody out there who's looking for a new meeting place for different types of business stuff, this is probably a great option now that, with Workrooms closing down. So it's great. Thank you for introducing us to that. That's wonderful. I actually hadn't heard of it. So when you sent me the flyer for it, I was like, oh, that's so cool. They've got a replacement lined up. Here we go. That's great.
Yeah.
So moving forward, when you're creating your new galleries, whatever platform they may be, if they're going to be on Cluster, Banter, Spatial, wherever it's going to be, for people who are doing this, do you recommend not having it just in one platform, definitely spreading it out across multiples?
Absolutely.
Even though it's harder to maintain, at least you keep your presence if one goes down.
Right. I totally agree. Yeah. I definitely started in Spatial and then found the multiverse. And, I think it's just every time you find a new platform, you get to learn so much more, right? It's just like you're just putting things in your toolbox. Like, okay, well, next time I'll know how to do that faster. And so it's kind of a momentum builder.
And do you find that having had these galleries here in the metaverse has actually complemented your work IRL as well?
Me, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's it gives me a way to just to experience people, and my stuff is all the paintings I do are all like story driven and everything. So I like to be able to have people to communicate with and hear their stories and tell the stories and hear what they see in the pictures and everything. And that's like really something. That kind of experience of having people from everywhere, all over the world come to your space like that and have a conversation with them is like, it only happens here. I mean, and so, I mean, I have this one painting that's like, I think it's in one of these pictures. It's a spaghetti, those meatballs. And I mean, like, people want to talk about like the meatballs, that they grew up with, that was size meatballs. And it's so fun.
Mrs. Pantecchio's meatballs.
Like, where else can you have conversations like that, So, yeah, it's been...
Yeah, I have great meatball stories from like my, my grandmother and meatballs. It's so true. The Italians like to talk about
it's an Italian thing, exactly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah.
So, also over here in VR chat, if you're not familiar with Shea Arts, she has a gorgeous gallery over here that maybe you might want to talk to her about getting some of your work featured in her gallery. She has different events throughout the year, and the gallery itself is absolutely gorgeous, but the way she's curated it with the different artists, little exhibitions and stuff inside of it, it's really quite nice. So maybe you could connect with her, and that might be an additional outlet for you guys that you could, it's really pretty. And I know a lot of people in here have been there before to visit, but even if she's not having an event, you can always search for it and go and check out the world and see what's in there currently. It's a really beautiful place.
I bet it is. I like her builds a lot.
Oh yeah.
She's amazing.
So nice.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, despite, let's forget about the actual platforms themselves, that, whether they're here or closing down or anything, but where do you see the future of immersive worlds with the combination of artistry, going forward? Do you see it continuing to grow, or do you think that it's kind of just a hit or miss fleeting passion here?
Oh, I feel like it's just starting. This is just the beginning.
Yeah, I think, that's right. It's just the beginning. And it can go, it's going to go so far to where, I think the best thing is that people can express themselves, like if you're like an artist in the real world, you have to be able to draw or whatever. You don't have to draw in VR. You can express, it's an extension of your mind, an extension of your being in your work and your worlds that you create. And there's, that is so important. I think that in itself will make it keep on going. People want to be able to create. The creative energy is here, and that's how I see it. And it takes different forms. It's going to take different platforms or whatever. But but that energy has not left, and it's here and it's growing, and it's such a gift. I think it's just such a gift. So I love seeing I feel like I know somebody deeper if I see what they build and how, I love getting to know them in that way. So, yeah.
Well, artistry always brings out people's personalities for sure. You can learn a lot about someone by seeing how they project their inner thoughts onto the canvas. So,
yeah. I was just telling Roberta in the green room that I recently scanned in a hyperscape space, and I was so. Are you familiar with hyperscape?
I've just heard. I've not seen.
Yeah, it is really amazing. I couldn't believe the detail. I even put like one of my Bee Queen stickers on the table, and you could look down and go like, "That's a sticker." Like it was so incredible. And in the gorge, I have a container gallery, and I was telling her how I'm going to just start scanning my gallery when they have a show in the gallery as my archive. And then I think you can invite up to 8 people if they have the Quest 3 into the space, and you can just walk around together in the meta avatar. It is pretty incredible. So that's sort of my next, little side project. To sort of bring my art in here in a different way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you, when you say side projects, I have to ask because I saw a picture on your Instagram, and we see your Instagram handle here, Bee Queen. So I got to ask about the bees. I need to know. So tell us about the bees.
All right. Well, since 2001, I've been dancing with bees, and I dance with about 15 to, 18,000 bees on my body as a performance. I call it an occurrence. It's like an opportunity for people to be closer to nature, to quell their fear of bees or insects, or to kind of go, oh, hey, yeah, we're all in this together. And it's an occurrence where everyone wears white, and there's usually about 100 people in a big circle. And before people arrive to the circle, there's a big feast, and so we support like pollinator foods, and everyone eats together, and then I dance for each person, and I combine my energy work that I've been doing since I was 18, and so that's my other side gig. So I do long distance energy work, and I kind of my favorite part about it is to watch someone's face of fear all of a sudden transform into awe, and then just aha moment. It's like the most beautiful thing. So thanks for asking. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so anybody who hasn't followed her, go follow her. You got to see the pictures because you're going to be like, what? It's beautiful and crazy at the same time. I was like, she must get stung sometimes, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah.
So I would not suggest it if you are allergic to bees, because there's a lot of bees on her, a lot of bees. So it's really, it's amazing to hear, I love when you said, no, it's just starting, because I agree. I think that right now there may be some turnover with apps and everything else, but it's just like when something is starting and they're trying to find the right platforms, they're trying to find the right direction to move in. And sometimes you try something, it doesn't work, you move on. And as long as the motion is continuously moving forward, you're good. And, we all started in different places. Everybody who's in this room, some people started in Altspace, some people started in Second Life, some people started in Multiverse. Like, everybody started in a different place. And for some reason, we're all here right now. So there are different ways, to move around in the metaverse. And it's just like traveling at home. You don't stay in your house all the time. You might have to go over to the town over here. You might go to a state over here. You might go to another country. You move around, you see new things. So it's the same in your journey in here. And maybe you're going to work for a little while in one platform, and maybe down the road it's going to switch to another one. So don't give up and keep following through with your dreams. And do you have any advice you would give to artists that are coming in here that see the opportunity but just not sure where to start?
I would say just talk to everyone. It's really like talking and saying, this is what I'm looking for, and finding places. XR Women has a networking group that they used to do weekly lectures, and now I think they do at least once or twice a month. They do networking. So it's just asking around, because there's always somebody who knows somebody about like what would be best for you or the best fit. Yeah.
I love that.
I think that artists should. I mean, I started by getting a store and a gallery, and I mean that just kind of. I would say find a place where you can have a gallery, and there are places, and that's one of the questions I would ask when you're checking around and talking to people, because there's just something about that's so fulfilling, and it helps you with your art because you can kind of see where you are and where you're going. It's so visual, So, I mean, I love that.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I agree.
And
I agree.
I love that you guys are moving forward, continuing on. So if you're not following them, please follow them on Instagram, and we'll look forward to more work coming from you guys. Before we head out tonight, I do want to mention that, Vernon, who's been a long time guest in our audience, actually brought you guys on here tonight. He's brought on a couple of other people who were on, Jacqueline Drake and Libby, that have been on this season. And, he's doing a lot to try and build community in here and doing some trainings over in school and with BMXR. These are other apps. So tonight we're like kind of dropping a lot of names of different apps. We will make sure to put links to these on Discord when we put the video up. But Vernon actually has a classroom over in school, and you can go over there and you can learn different programs. Now he's going to be doing trainings in Blender as well as other programs over there that you guys can take advantage of and get to learn some of the different apps. So when we talk about, coming in here for artists and you need to learn Blender and OpenBrush and all these different things, there are resources out there. And this is some inside visuals for Vernon's school, which I actually got to check out last week. It's really nice. Done a good job with it. There's streaming in there so you can see different things. And there's a lot of educational resources right here in the metaverse. And sometimes they're in the metaverse, sometimes they're going to be on your computer. And whether it's immersive or in 2D, there's a lot of opportunity out there to learn different skills. Cybashay, who's in the audience right now, she has learned so much since she came in here. She came in, she decided to just be a sponge, suck it all in and say, I want to learn how to do as much as possible and then run with it. IT Trey, also, he does a lot in here and works with, different people, Second Life Rich. And I know that, he's bounced around and learned a bunch of different technologies. And, there's so many people here in the metaverse that embrace the opportunities. And I love seeing it. I love seeing people learn something and then coming back and saying, look what I did. And that's what this whole season's about. Learning about stuff and then making things happen. It's great. So thank you to Vernon, and thank you to you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here. And
so great.
I mean, this has been a very fun season to get to learn about different people's passions and feel the community. And, last week we had on Meta Coach, and he just talked about keeping the positive attitude about all the different things going on right now. And really it's about not losing sight that when you came in here for a good experience. And whether that experience is 1 day, 1 week, 1 year, or much longer, as long as it's positive and you walked away from here feeling good and you brought good energy into this space, then it was a good experience. We hope for it to be long, but in the meantime, enjoy every time you come in here and, come in with a positive attitude, come in here with good energy and feed off of those around you who are giving that back as well. So, yeah.
Well,
that was
thank
great.
You so much. This is
Thank
great.
you. Yes. And I want to just take a quick moment to let everyone know that next week we will be continuing on the Human Leia training session that we're doing this season. It's going to be part 3. We're moving forward. We've talked about, bringing ideas to the table. We've talked about, executing those ideas. And then next week, we're going to talk a little bit about doing some efficiencies and streamlining to make things run a little bit smoother and obviously obviously efficiencies are always very important. Nobody wants burnout. So we're trying to help alleviate that because content creation is a lot. And if you are doing events or you have your, even like your galleries and you want to, you know, get the word out there to people, it's a lot of work. And there are ways that you can utilize ChatGPT and other AI programs out there. And just, you know, be able to make your workload a little bit easier by capitalizing on the way that you can make templates and the way you can feed all the information in and just have it keep spouting out new, fresh information for you to put out based on the foundation you built. So we will talk about that. And I do want to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors. We have Fuchsia from Virtual Fitness Group, who is out here helping everybody get fit and have fun while they're doing it. We have Cybershay, who is out here just doing everything in the metaverse and having fun with everybody else doing it. We have Rich from Hume AI, who's trying to teach people how to market and use higher level, which is his you reach out to him. There's a sign up here on the wall if you want to learn more about using that to help you with your CRM management. We also have Tinkerlove 1980 from Beauty of Tink, who's helping people both in here and in the real world. And we have Ice Cold Stacks, who is doing the Ice House Casino and Lounge and also helping people, you know, showcase musical talent. And BYOB Events, which is also Ice Cold Stacks, and Ty Sky, the DJ, who's helping people push forward with live events, streaming events, and community events to let people game and have fun. There's just so much going on here in the metaverse, and everyone is just doing so many cool things. And we have Kip VR, who built this world, who's doing updates for us regularly, and DJ Marcus J, who made the camera system and does the videos for us every single week. And we have Blue Moon, who runs the slides and helps us make these shows run smoothly. Loudfire doing crowd control. Everybody just working together and making this such a positive community experience. And I am just grateful to be part of it and being able to learn about all of you and share it back to everybody, both here and outside of the metaverse with the help of YouTube. So thank you, everybody, for coming here tonight. We hope to see you next week. And thank you once again, Sarah and Roberta. Appreciate you being on here today. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're good.
Oh, that was great.
Thank you
so
very much.
That was
of
fabulous.
Course, thank you.